Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of April 18, 2021. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological week. Without a doubt, there are huge moves happening in the sky now. Right out of the gate, as we begin the week, it really is about Mars and Pluto, forming a type of conversation that astrologers call a quincunx. This is when two planets have to unexpectedly and often quickly get along. But as they have to get along, just as quickly, the energy can dissipate as well. This energy can sometimes feel frustrating, can sometimes feel stressful, but it has the potential to change us for the better as we realize new things about ourselves by bringing these two seemingly unconnected energies together. Now, Mars is the ancient ruling planet of Scorpio. Pluto is the modern ruling planet of Scorpio. And Scorpion energy is going to be that much more heightened next week when we have a super full moon in the sign of Scorpio and Pluto goes retrograde. So we've already got Pluto in this strong position, slowing down to a standstill at this time. And this is one of the last important alignments that Mars is going to make before he changes signs late in the week. And what all of this suggests is that this is one of these turning point moments for us where there may be very strong emotion, there may be a sense of a power struggle or a power game playing out. Sometimes this can play out externally in our lives. Sometimes this struggle can be within ourselves. But ultimately, it leads us to Mars. It fuels the energy of empowerment and meaningful transformation. This particular alignment, yes, may come on very quickly, but the invitation is there to shift perspective. It is Mars that is in the sign of Gemini after all. And Gemini is an energy of mind and how we are perceiving things, how we are expressing ourselves, how we're communicating about a thing. Maybe that is what needs to be transformed in some meaningful way so that we can be restored to rightful empowerment. That is always the invitation with Mars, to understand where we have power and where we don't, and to own our power that much more fully. With Pluto, we really get to the depths of our powerlessness, and through that are made powerful. And so this energy invites us to use the power of our minds, the power of our focus, and to find a newfound determination to connect with an energy that serves us well, that allows us to be a force of meaningful transformation in our lives and in the lives of others as well. Now, it is going to be right out of the gate, the same day on Sunday for most people out there, that the Sun and Mercury will meet in the sky. Now, they are meeting at anaretic degrees of Aries. And what that means is the very end of the sign of Aries. Now, the last really big important thing to happen here was way back January 6th. That was when we had Mars here gearing up to change signs. And of course, we saw some very powerful shows take place. Frustration seemed to be expressed in some very powerful ways. We saw that in the United States. Well, now with the Sun and Mercury meeting here, I feel like this is going to give us new insights and new information as part of our own journeys as well. Think back to what was happening about a week into January, because in some way you will see that time differently, or there will be a furtherance of clarity, of conversation, of insight, of negotiation that takes place at this time. Of course, collectively, this also can bring with it new information and new insights as well to the events that took place about a week into January also. But for us individually, and I'm always so interested in what's happening for us as part of our own individual journeys, Ultimately, this is about what is happening with Aries. This is happening in the sign of Aries. And Aries is an energy of self, an energy of breath, an energy of clarity. And these two planets meeting here bring mind. They elevate an energy that otherwise could be impulsive, could be largely instinctual, and instead invite us to contemplate, to consider, to think things through as part of understanding our own instinct, as part of choosing instinct more wisely. I'll give you an example. It actually comes from St. Augustine. So St. Augustine was an early Christian philosopher, and he asserted that so many of us think of love as associated with eros. And so that is energy of passion and instant attraction, right? All these things that we consider part of this very passionate Aries energy. It was St. Augustine who considered that the dominance of eros. And we think that that's love, but really that is an instinctual response that we may have to another person. The truth is that we can be aroused by, turned on by higher qualities like honesty, like loyalty when we see them displayed in other people. So how is it that we can do that? How can we go from a place of just instinctively reacting to making a decision to find higher qualities desirable, physically desirable to us? Well, according to St. Augustine, it is practice. It just comes down to that we're willing to practice and be diligent with that practice to retrain ourselves so that we do find ourselves eventually getting to the place where we are able to have reactions to higher qualities of our own choosing. And that is part of the invitation now with the Sun meeting Mercury in the sign of Aries. What does that mean for us to retrain ourselves, to see ourselves and our power and our perceptions differently from a place of being dedicated to change our instinctual reaction? Because so much of what we saw a week into January was this very visceral reaction that was played out without necessarily being thought out. And it is now that we get that opportunity to raise the energy, to think things through, and to decide what reactions, what instinctual responses ultimately serve our higher end, serve a higher sense of who we know we can be, rather than just what we've been trained to be, what we've been conditioned to be. And that is where true empowerment can lie, especially with an energy like this. Once we get to Monday, that is when both planets will change signs. The Sun and Mercury both will move into the sign of Taurus. Now, this is where a conglomerate of energy starts to build in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is a very different energy than Aries. Taurus is embodied. It is deliberate. It is a fixed sign. And so it trusts a process. It's able to hold an energy rather than simply react. And Taurus is an energy of celebrating the earthly experience, enjoying the earthly experience. It is an energy of being present, truly present for our lives and for ourselves and for each other. And that is going to be part of a deeper mood and a deeper drive that a lot of us are going to have. The sincere desire to be present for ourselves and to be present for our lives. Now, this has already begun because of Venus. It was last week that Venus moved into this part of the sky. And boy, Venus really is the big news this week because she is going to be meeting Uranus in the sky. This takes place right around Thursday in the Americas, Friday in the rest of the world. And I am calling this the most shocking day in love because it really is. Venus right now, very strong in her home sign of Taurus, but she is rushing to meet Uranus. And this is about a whole other way to consider where we are in love and why. Now, for some of us, it's possible that some of this energy may play out in terms of money, in terms of luxuries, yes. For others, though, this energy may very well play out in terms of self-love. Regardless, this is an energy of abundance, of enjoyment, and we are about to get a whole other look at what we have desired and why. And whether that is the desire for another person, the desire to maintain a particular alliance, a particular partnership, a particular relationship, this energy represents a wake-up call. The thing is with Uranus is that Uranus represents the truth. That's really what it is. We think of Uranus as being so erratic and shaking things up, but really whatever is shaken is so because it isn't authentic. Uranus cares about what is real, what is true, what is authentically there. And all of us have to ask ourselves whether or not we are in authentic alignment with love or not. And that can be romantic love, absolutely. That can be self-love as well, which is very powerful. In fact, I would say because Uranus is so highly individualistic, self-love, so important a topic, may very well be one way, one very powerful way that many people out there experience this energy. But this is a wake-up call. Where is it that we have gone along to get along and we've behaved in ways that don't express the self-love that we know we deserve? Where is it that we've gotten to a place now where we've gone so off track and in an instant are brought back to a clarity that, hey, if I loved myself, I wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't be with this person. I wouldn't be okay with this particular thing. Where is it that now we're ready to see ourselves differently, more lovingly? And how is it that that can have a sweeping effect on our lives? But of course, romantic love, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this energy absolutely can play out in romantic love as well. Whether that is romantic love that feels like it comes out of nowhere to shock us, whether it comes from places and people that are decidedly inappropriate, whether our attraction feels downright erratic. These are all ways in which this energy can be expressed. But this energy is also like ripping off a Band-Aid. Where it is that we've tolerated a certain situation way too long, it is going to be Uranus conjunct Venus that helps us to rip off that Band-Aid and helps us to go in new directions. Bonds that are strong with this energy can be made stronger. In an instant, they can leap forward. That can be part of the shock. How many people are going to run out and elope? That can be part of the shock at this time because they feel that energy of love so strongly. But at the same time, there may very well be the case where people come to the realization that they're ready to go in a whole other direction, and that could take us by surprise as well. Now, at the very end of the week, Venus is going to connect with Saturn in a conversation of tension that astrologers call a square. And Saturn is a principle of limitation, of restriction. Speaking to Venus in this way ultimately is inviting us to be pragmatic, to be realistic, whatever that means for us, to put in the time, to put in the work, but also to be aware of time. An awareness of time means that you no longer accept a situation and just go along to get along. An awareness of time means that you are willing to make changes because you know that some things cannot go on any longer. But at the same time, what's also fascinating about this is as these surprises come forward, as we are shocked in some way, we may also be invited to take a more measured approach, to consider the larger consequences and to consider what work may need to be done, where responsibility actually lies. And the commitment to do the work is noble and is powerful in and of itself. Just because some truth comes out and it feels like there's shocks and surprises where it comes to a partnership you might be in, doesn't necessarily mean that the partnership needs to end. That is between you and your partner. It is for no one else to judge. And if it is that you decide that the partnership is worth the work, well, then it is going to be Venus and Saturn that help you to get honest about what the work actually entails. Help you to get honest about whatever role you may be playing as part of helping a particular bond to heal. Where is it that perhaps the shocks and the twists and the turns lead you in a direction of realizing that maybe this isn't the person for you? Well, in that case, Venus and Saturn will help you to do the work to restore you to yourself. Regardless, the outcome is the same. The outcome is love. Self-love, love for life, love for each other. Now, finally, another big thing to happen this week is going to take place right around Friday. That is Mars changing signs, and Mars is going to move into the sign of Cancer. And this energy is very emotional. You add this heightened energy of Mars into the sign of Cancer. And it may be that some of us out there feel ourselves to be on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster now and in the weeks ahead. This energy is going to take us right to June 10th. So we've got a nice long stay of this energy playing out right now. And it is this energy of Mars in the sign of Cancer that is going to bring a heightened interest to matters of country, to matters of patriotism. What does that actually mean? To matters of home. A lot of us have had to stay home. I know in Canada, for example, I'm dying to go home. I would love to go home. And we'll talk about home a little bit later for me in my life. But you might notice I'm in a hotel room right now, and there's a good reason for that. But yes, a lot of us might want to actually go home in some way. And yet we have Mars here heightening that desire. And yet there are further restrictions being placed around the world, like in Canada, for example. What we may also see is a heightened desire to understand care, healthy forms of care for ourselves and for others. The energy of Cancer desires stability. It desires to know consistency because the emotions can be so strong. And one of the higher attributes of understanding Cancerian energy is that Cancerian energy is here to understand the difference between fear and intuition. And by navigating through fear can get to the place of trusting the intuition. Our intuitive selves are going to be very high, but so too might our emotional fears. So it's going to be up to us to decide, to discern the difference between the two, and to decide which one we're going to give strength to. It is in choosing our intuition that we can't help but align with greater love and greater wisdom as well. What I love about this week for us, well, look, there's a lot here. It is a very powerful astrological sky. I am going to say Venus conjunct Uranus. Yes, I said it. The shocking day, the most shocking day in love. Love surprises will abound. I would invite you not to engage this energy. Like, romantic surprises do not go as planned. If you have a romantic surprise that you have to give somebody, I would say put that to the side just for a moment if you could. Sometimes you can't. This energy can be very impulsive, very erratic as well. But it also invites us to consider what is true, what is real, what is authentic, where it comes to our expression in love, our expression in beauty. It is really not a good time to be playing with the more Venusian aspects of life. Things like cosmetic procedures, new wardrobe, new hairstyles, new hair colors that you haven't tried before. I know a little something about that. And I would say, hey, maybe hold off on that a little bit, at least with a week like this, and especially in the second half of the week. The beauty energy is just so erratic. The outcomes really could take you in all kinds of directions. But for all that, this energy can invite you to consider what makes you uniquely you, beautiful as you are in your own right. And where is it that you can celebrate your unique beauty as you are right now today? Whether this energy shows up in terms of self-love or romantic love or a love for life, my hope is that in surprising ways, as part of the twists and turns that Uranus likes to take us on, you encounter greater love than you've known before. Well, thank you so much for watching. What do you love about this week? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading you guys. And to prove it to you, here are some of my most recent favorite comments. Thank you so much to everybody who likes, comments, subscribes, shares, thumbs up. Means so very much to me. Thank you for your love and support of this channel and the content here. I am so grateful for it. And of course, if you want to know how all this wonderful stuff this week, all this very active sky speaks to you in your sign, log on to NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where now you can get a superstar membership for as low as just $3 a month with choose your membership rate. $3 a month gets you expanded exclusive video scopes, each and every week for each and every sign, plus access to a live full moon event that I do at Superstars every single month. Higher tiers get you things like class passes for Synchronicity University classes. They get you consultations with me and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Link is in the description below. Synchronicity University Summer School is announced. It is here, and we've got incredible summer school classes coming up, and choose your tuition rate happening until the end of May. So you can take classes with me on Saturdays, or if you can't join live, you get the download for as low as just $5 a class. And we've got some incredible classes coming up as part of the spring session. We are going to have pet astrology. We are going to look at rectification, which is a technique that has to do with trying to get a chart together when you don't have the birth time, and coming up with a birth time. There are different techniques that astrologers use, and I'm going to teach some of those to you. We're going to continue to look at the 4th house, the 3rd house, the 7th house. We've even got the 5th house as well that we'll be looking at, which is a house of fun and windfalls and love and so much more. So there's so much to look forward to with summer school. I hope that you will join us. I hope that you'll check it out. Visit synchronicityuniversity.com to learn more, or link is in the description below. I look forward to incredible classes with you online this summer at synchronicityuniversity.com. Synchronicity University welcomes Michael Barwick. He's back to teach traditional techniques for the modern 21st century astrologer. This is going to be such an exciting class. Choose Your Tuition Rate is on just for about another week, a little more than a week to go with Choose Your Tuition Rate. As low as just $5 a class is unheard of for a traditional astrology class. And Michael is going to be back. Super popular class that he did recently on fixed stars. Now he's going to be teaching us some of the basics where it comes to understanding traditional astrology. So we are going to look at the Arabic lots, also known as Hellenistic parts. We are going to look at essential dignities. We are going to look at joys and debilities and so much more. I will flash it on the screen, but lots of core concepts where it comes to understanding traditional astrology. Students have been asking for traditional astrology for a really long time, and I knew that Michael was the one to teach it. So I'm so very excited that he is with us and that he's back with us. And for this incredibly low rate, Choose Your Tuition Rate is on right now for just a little bit more than a week to go at synchronicityuniversity.com. I look forward to being with you in class and learning traditional astrology with Michael Barwick. Link is in the description below. Synchronicity University's speaker series for May is right around the corner. Choose Your Tuition Rate as low as just $5 a class, going on for a little bit more than a week to go on that. And this time around for the May speaker series, it's all big stars where it comes to astrology, and I'm really excited about that. So we've got huge names in astrology joining us. We've got Rachel Schwartz, world recognized expert on Kabbalistic astrology. This is so exciting to have her join us for Kabbalistic astrology. We've also got my friend Armand Diaz joining us for the Astrology of Breakups. He is a well-known and respected author. He's written books on the topic of Astrology of Breakups. So he's going to be joining us for a class. We're going to have Stormie Grace join us, YouTube star Stormie Grace, join us for Magical Mercury Retrograde. Acyuta joining us from Night Light Astrology, and he's going to be talking about mystical Saturn. And we are going to have my dear friend Samuel Reynolds from Unlock Astrology joining us talking about the lunar node. So super popular topics and super popular teachers for this very low rate of just $5 a class. Link is in the description below, or find us at synchronicityuniversity.com. And you can get my take on your unique birth chart by checking out my partnership with Cosmogram. Thank you so much to everybody who's purchased the readings, who's downloaded the readings, who absolutely loves it, who shares incredible feedback. Every single one of you, it means so much to me that these reports have been so popular. They were a labor of love. So thank you for that support and that trust. And what happens is you go to the Cosmogram website, link is in the description below, and you enter in your birth data, and within hours you are emailed a PDF copy that you can keep forever that has the explanations of the different planetary things happening in your chart. And those explanations are written by me. Cosmogram often has discount codes on their site as well, so you can check that out and apply one of their discount codes. But yes, please do check that out. You get a sample report by logging on to their website, so you'll know exactly what it is that you'll get. That page takes you to a sample report, and that should set your expectations. And from there, you get your own reading and you cherish it forever. I got one of these computer printout readings when I was a teenager, and it changed the course of my life. It was like reading myself on paper, and it was such a powerful thing to me. And I never forgot it. And so now to be the facilitator of that kind of experience for you, well, that just means so much to me. It means the world to me. So check out my partnership with Cosmogram. Link is in the description below. And thank you. I think I mentioned I'm in a hotel room. So basically, as I told you last week, I was relocating to Mexico City, and I have relocated. And there was an electrical emergency in my condo, my new condo that I just love with all my heart so much. I knew I was home in this condo. I was so ready. And then there's an electrical emergency. There's no electricity. And they're saying Tuesday that it should be good. I should be able to move in properly on Tuesday. But what I'm hoping is that you can, and the reason I'm mentioning this is so that you could send positive vibes, positive energy, just a little burst of energy to the universe to see me happy. See me happy in a condo that I love. See me happy in a home that I love, because I really do love that space. But I've also been learning to surrender the whole thing. The other day, while being in this hotel room, I went out for a walk. I think it was yesterday. And I watched the sun setting over Mexico City, over the mountains. And I was filled with this knowing in my bones and in my soul that this is where I am meant to be right now. And of course, tomorrow might be different, but I know that this city is home for me right now. And I feel such a powerful connection to this city and so much gratitude for being in this city. And so if the universe needs me to be in this hotel room, okay. That's how it is. But I would love it if the universe wanted me back in my condo that I just love with all my heart and I love so much. So if you could take a moment right now to send that burst out to the universe, that would just mean everything to me. I tell you, everything, because I believe in energy. I believe in vibrations. I believe that we can and we participate in the unfolding of the universe. And so my participation in the unfolding of the universe is that I get to be in the condo and in the home that I really want to be in. So it's mine. I know it's there. It's waiting for me. It's just getting this issue solved so that I can be back in the space. That's what it comes down to. So yes, if you can be part of that for me, my goodness, you would have my eternal gratitude. And wherever it is that you may need positive energy right now, you may need a burst of gratitude right now somewhere in your life, let us know in the comments below. And my hope is that we can give that support and that love and that encouragement and those positive vibes to each other and lift each other up to move in a direction of greater love and greater wisdom. And I was doing tarot reading on this and I kept getting the Hierophant again and again. And then it clicked like, oh, okay, I get it. Why is the Hierophant jumping out of my tarot deck? Because this is about my spiritual values. This comes down to trust. This comes down to knowing that I will be exactly where it is that I'm meant to be as part of a wise and loving universe and as part of my spiritual growth and my spiritual unfolding. And so for today, it's in this hotel room. And that's where I am. And that's good. I'm very blessed, grateful to have the life that I have, and grateful to have your trust as well. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me as part of your sacred journey. And thank you again for watching. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.